Hello, dear friends. You're watching your weekly astrology horoscope. And the week in front of us is going to be a pretty dynamic one. First of all, we have the sun in Gemini already, which more or less brings some kind of variety and possible shifts. And overall, we need to be flexible and open. But don't forget that Mercury is retrograde. And this also suggests that we need to think twice before we make an important decision. Or if we want to start something, we really need to analyze things from different perspectives. Overall, this is a great time to fix something, to repair, to look at something from a different perspective. But Mercury retrograde does not mean that we should stop living and kind of like pause everything. We are actually going to experience lots of dynamic energy starting from this week because Mars is ingressing Aries. And Mars is the ruler of Aries, which means that this energy will become very present and resourceful, the energy of Mars. So we may feel the impulse to take some action, to do something, maybe even to take some risks, and overall to feel more courageous and kind of empowered because of the actions we are making. So with Mars in Aries, I don't think that we should remain passive. If we try to stop this impulse and kind of like wait until, everything is perfect, it is possible that this may turn into some kind of irritation or even desire to kind of like confront with someone so we can, give this energy some kind of direction and get it out of us. So don't try to suppress this energy. Instead, try to do something meaningful. Again, think twice, analyze things properly, but don't put everything on hold. On Tuesday, basically, Mars is making this ingression. So for the next weeks, we will have this energy available to us. The other interesting moment is that Venus is also moving into her own sign. This is happening towards the middle of the week, towards the end, actually, on Saturday. And this is pretty interesting, having both Mars and Venus in the signs that they rule. And potentially for relationships, this can be pretty helpful. And you know how this feels like the masculine energy is where it's supposed to be, and also the feminine energy is where it's supposed to be. And like we have access to those energies at the same time, and this can be pretty interesting and exciting. So we may have the ability to put some kind of or to experience more balance, more harmony, more relaxation, especially after Venus moves to Taurus. And at the same time, when needed, we may make a new step, take action. So it's pretty nice to have those energies available to us. So let's get started with the daily overviews because as you will see, each day something interesting and important is happening. Starting from Monday. On Monday, we have a sextile between the Sun and Jupiter. So we start the week in a very positive way with some potential opportunities, with something exciting, with the opportunity to maybe grow or succeed in something. And we really need to rely on this inner belief and optimism. This Jupiter is also in Aries, so very active position, and we need to kind of like see the bigger picture and also think about concrete steps. The other aspect also on Monday is between Mercury and Mars, again a sextile, and this kind of like triggers the same topic, but instead of focusing only on the bigger picture, we also can think about the smaller things that can get us where we want to go. So it's about planning and specifically visualizing the bigger goal we are pursuing, and then finding the steps we need to take in order to get there. So for all kinds of plans, Monday would be great, both for long-term planning, but also more detailed and precise planning. And again, think from the perspective of actions. What do I need to do to get where I want to go? The moon is in Pisces on Monday, which helps for our intuition, imagination. We may be a little bit detached from reality. It happens sometimes when the moon is in Pisces, so don't push yourself too much and really try to connect with your intuition and imagination. On Tuesday, this Mars is moving to Aries, so everything that we already talked about is basically starting for us. This strong, intense, but in a positive way, intense Mars energy will be available. And yeah, it's important to find a constructive direction to use this energy. Another thing for Tuesday is that Venus is having a sextile with Saturn. And this can help with some kind of emotional balance, kind of like keep our state under control, and overall to be more pragmatic about the things that we want, about financial decisions, about relationship stuff. This is a pretty, balancing aspect. Venus is having one more aspect also on Tuesday, which is with Neptune, and it's a minor aspect, but it can also help with some creativity, with the ability to connect more with other people, to be more compassionate, and also, again, to use our creativity. The moon is in Pisces most of the day, basically until 6 p.m. approximately. So for creative work, for something that includes our imagination, the day can be especially positive. On Wednesday, we have a very practical and empowering combination. Mercury is having a trine with Pluto. Mercury is retrograde, of course, but it's still a nice aspect for increasing our concentration and productivity. We need to be patient. So Mercury is retrograde and in Taurus. So we should not rush things too much, but instead this can allow us to concentrate long enough on whatever task we are focusing on or whatever is important for us. This may include some business planning, financial planning, or taking care of some financial tasks. And the moon is in Aries, which can also make us more active, more energized, more productive. So this as a combination really activates the mind and the desire to do something, also to kind of like feel empowered because of the moon in Aries and also the Pluto energy. Moving on to Thursday. On Thursday, we have a minor challenging aspect between Mars and Uranus. So it's possible that there could be some tension or irritation or something unpredictable. Things may change or our desires may also change. So we need to be more flexible. Be mindful for possible overreactions, confrontations, or spontaneous and impulsive reactions. On the other side, Mercury is having a nice harmonious aspect with Venus, which can help with negotiations or clarifying things and overall kind of like finding the balance between the rational and the emotional side. The moon is in Aries on Thursday as well, so we can still feel this impulse to take action, to do something, to be perhaps more independent and really focus on the things that are personally important for us. On Friday, we have probably the most intense aspect emotionally. Venus is having a square with Pluto. And this can trigger some kind of also emotional overreactions or desire to keep things under control or the people we love under control. It is possible to have some conflicts or power struggles with loved ones, with even with business partners or at work. So be mindful. Like, keep in mind that people may take things too personally. They may also be more suspicious. There could be some trust issues, or it may feel like a manipulation as well. So it's better not to kind of like try to solve things in your personal life or even business-wise. It's better to, remain more patient on Friday. And the moon is in Taurus. From one side, this can bring balance, again on Friday. From one side, this can help us to be more patient, but another possibility is that we might get into some kind of emotional state, and it might be difficult to let it go. Because Venus and Pluto may get us into something like this, feeling offended or hurt or disappointed or something else. And at the same time, the moon in Taurus also has difficulties with letting go. So again, be more cautious and try to avoid like the painful, difficult conversations on Friday. On Saturday, Venus is moving to Taurus, so generally we can feel calmer after that and more balanced, and generally this is great for relationships, even for some kind of financial decisions or steps, and overall for paying more attention to our comfort. What makes you feel comfortable when it comes to your body, your environment, your health maybe? Those are some questions that we can focus on after Saturday, after the ingression of Venus into Taurus. On Saturday, another aspect we have is between the Sun and Neptune, there is a quintile, and this aspect can bring some kind of changes and new choices that we can make, and we can also feel very intuitive, very inspired. So for some kind of creative work, the day can be especially positive. The moon is in Taurus on Saturday, so it's a great time to focus on our energy, our physical well-being, maybe even on some kind of financial and practical decisions. And finally, on Sunday, we have an especially dynamic and energizing aspect. Mars will be in conjunction with Jupiter. All of this, of course, is happening in Aries under the rulership of Mars, but Jupiter is also feeling very comfortable in Aries. So both of the planets can be especially energizing, brave, ambitious, and beneficial. Keep in mind that we also need to be careful, because sometimes it's possible that we may try to do too many things with this energy. We may succeed, but it's possible that somehow this may also feel like, oh my gosh, it's too much. So especially if you have this tendency to put too many things on your plate or to overestimate what you can do and how much time it will take you to do it, be a little bit more careful with this energy. But generally speaking, this is a great aspect, a very energizing, a great time to think about long-term plans and goals, and also to take some steps in this direction and to feel the inner belief and confidence that you can achieve it, that you can make it happen. So it is a rare aspect, approximately once in 2 years, and the sign where we have this conjunction right now is also very positive for those two planets. So basically, the week begins and ends with a very intense Jupiter energy. So it's really time for some action, for some planning and for opening our minds for a new direction. Last thing about Sunday, about the moon. So until approximately 1 p.m. the moon is in Taurus, so things might be kind of slower. We can be more patient. It's a nice time to focus on more practical things. And during the second half of the day, the moon will be in Gemini. So for socializing, going out with people, doing something that requires more mental activity, this will be a very positive time. So as you can see, the week is full of events, and like I was thinking right before I started filming this video, like all of the planets are so active. Probably the planet which is not so present is Neptune. Like, we have I think 2 minor aspects that trigger Neptune, but it doesn't feel like this is really the dominant energy. But the Mars energy, the Jupiter, Venus energy, Mercury energy, Pluto, they are pretty active. Probably Uranus is also not that active. So, but I think that the kind of the leading motive is Jupiter this week. Jupiter, and after that Mars, and also Venus. Those are the most accentuated energies. So I'm pretty excited to see how this will unfold in our lives. Let me know if you have any questions or you want to share something about those energies and how they are affecting you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you very soon.